Aw, sweet, a new axe!
New? How could you call that new?
Well, it's different from any axe that I've ever had before.
Different, like, bent in half?
Well, yeah, and the moveset is also...
That thing is like buying jeans pre-ripped.
Yeah, so?
Like getting denim that is already distressed.
This conversation is making me distressed.
Ladies, gentlemen, and tarnished of all ages,
by this point in the life cycle of Elden Ring, you probably have the vast majority of equipment available in the game. Some of which you likely sought out quite purposefully, but most of it you probably just came across accidentally, picked up, and then forgot about for the next 100 hours or so. So today I'm going to tell you about a number of pieces of equipment that have a bit of a secret, something hidden underneath the surface, a unique moveset or unique passive that may not be immediately obvious when you pick it up, where to get them if you don't have those weapons already, but I bet a number of these will just be sitting in your inventory and you might not even know what makes them special in the first place. Without further ado then, here are 11 weapons in Elden Ring with special attributes. Starting off then with the Warped Axe. This thing is quite gnarly looking, and it almost looks like a regular axe that someone sort of just sat on, if they were made of metal, I guess. Thankfully though, it doesn't make it any worse that it's this way, doesn't make it less effective. In fact, somehow it results in unique light and heavy attacks that are quite a bit faster than any other axe in the game. It also scales incredibly well with strength, and if you want to wield it yourself, the requirements are 24 strength and 8 dexterity. It comes with Warcry as a default Ash of War, but can be infused with anything applicable to axes. To get it for yourself, you have to farm a specific enemy, being any Omen enemy that wields it, with my personal favorite spot to do so being the abandoned coffin site of Grace, right at the start of the Altus Plateau region. 2 of them spawn right near the site of Grace, kill them and refresh at the Grace until you get the weapon to drop. Secondly today is Eleanor's Poleblade. This weapon is relatively well known given how insanely cool it looks in general, but people are much more aware of its unique weapon skill than anything else, flinging you forward in a storm of bloody rain with a ton of hits. But did you know that this weapon also has a unique heavy attack compared to other twin blades? Where most of them will only attack once if one-handed and a couple of times when wielded in 2 hands, this one has a whole spinny flippy animation that hits a ton of times in short succession. As a result, it makes this weapon very capable of taking certain buffs that other twin blades just can't really, and all the while it has been totally overshadowed by the skill of the weapon to the point that I never see anyone mention this heavy attack. To use this weapon you need 12 strength, 21 dexterity, and 19 arcane, and to get it for yourself you need to do the questline for Yura the Bloody Finger Hunter until you reach the second Church of Marika in the middle of the Altus Plateau region. Once there an invasion will start, finish it, and this weapon will be your reward. Third up then will be the Highland Axe.
Let's run hide. The Highland way.
This rather unassuming weapon seems to just be a normal axe at a glance. It has a normal moveset and doesn't look particularly unique. It has a crit rating of 110, which is higher than most other axes, and you can argue that that in itself makes it somewhat notable, but what if I told you it also had a passive that buffed other avenues of attack? Specifically, it buffs roar attacks by 7.5%, including the damage bonus from things like Warcry to your heavy attacks as well. While you can use this just on your weapon itself, it can also be used to make something like Beast's Roar, the long-range Ash of War, even stronger than it would be as a base. As a whole, this allows you to create a proper playstyle that would simply be weaker without the existence of this axe itself, and it may well be in your inventory already with you having no idea that it can do this. To wield it, you need 12 strength and 9 dexterity, and to get one of your own, you'll need to head to the room with the many-armed Keymaster in Stormvale Castle, and then after you kill it, it'll be just sitting there under the painting. Actually, it's there whether you kill it or not, but if you don't kill it, it might kill you. Fourth today is this little beauty of a shield called the Spiralhorn shield. Absolutely sprouting with antlers, this thing looks pointy as hell, making it already interesting as a base design. But did you know that it has a hidden benefit too? Not only is it crazy looking, but it also has a passive effect that boosts your immunity, robustness, and focus by 50 each, making you harder to inflict statuses on just for having it equipped, outside of the fact that it is, well, a shield as well. To equip this thing, you need 8 strength and 10 dexterity, and to find it, head to the ruined labyrinth site of Grace in eastern Liurnia. Then travel a short distance northwest towards the small lake and you'll find a body with some loot waiting to be picked up, which is of course the shield itself. Fifthly, we have the Butchering Knife, which is a particularly interesting looking great axe. In fact, looking more like a greatsword with a wicked curve just the whole way up the blade and quite the unique handle on it too. Sort of crazy to me that this thing is referred to as a knife.
You call that a knife? This is a knife. That's not a knife, that's a spoon.
On top of how cool it actually looks, it also has a slightly unique moveset. Specifically, if you hold it in two hands, the jump attack becomes a downward slam, akin to certain curved greatswords, and on top of that, it also has a passive effect of healing 1% of your health every time you hit an enemy with it, making it great for longevity, as while 1% of your health isn't a crazy high amount by any means, having that happen every time you hit someone will add up a lot over a fight, and even more over a whole playthrough, making this one quite interesting in its own right. To wield it, you need 16 strength and 20 dexterity, and to find it for yourself, you have to defeat the tarnished NPC invader located at the Corpse Stench Shack on the eastern side of Mount Gelmir. Sixth up then is one of the legendary weapons in the game, actually, the Ruins Greatsword. Because of its ludicrous stats requirements, it's quite likely that you found this one relatively early on in your playthrough and then just sort of stuck it aside unless you were really into that particular type of build. But this weapon is quite cool. As with most big powerful weapons, and most of the legendary weapons too, it is most known for its unique weapon skill, this one being almost like a gravity version of Mantis Blade. However, what is often missed with this weapon is the unique charged heavy attack that it has, having the normal weapon swinging component, but also a slightly delayed pop of rocks up from the ground for an extra chunk of damage, and a good amount of extra stagger damage too, on top of looking just ridiculously cool, so hey, even more reason to use an already legendary weapon. To wield it in one hand, you need 50 strength and 16 intelligence, and to find it for yourself, you have to defeat the duo boss fight located in Redmane Castle Plaza, when the Radon Festival is not currently happening. Seventh on today's list is the Monk's Flamemace. Personally, I just absolutely love the way this thing looks, like a living fire was trapped in a metal casing, and now it's just a big fancy bashing stick. The light attacks are normal, but the heavy attack is unique, almost matching the animation that flails have for a heavy attack, but a fair amount faster than those will launch, giving you a very repeatable same angle of attack launching charged heavy to just spam back to back. It comes with Kick as the default skill, but you can apply any Ash of War that is applicable to hammers. To wield it, you need 13 strength and 13 dexterity, and to get one of your own, you need to farm the specific flame monk enemies that wield the mace itself. These can be found wandering around the southwest of Liurnia of the Lakes, but if you have made it to the mountaintop of the Giants, the easiest one to just farm on repeat is in the Giant Conquering Hero's Grave, just down the stairs from the Site of Grace. Kill him, refresh at the Grace, and then repeat until you have gotten your own fancy bashy stick. Eighth up, we have one of my favorite weapons to have sitting on my back rather than actually equipped, the Great Turtle Shell Shield. This thing is, well, exactly what it says on the tin, a giant turtle shell that you can use to block attacks. It is awesome, and it comes with Barricade Shield as a default skill. The unique part of this weapon, though, is it actually has a passive matching the other turtle-based items in the game, increasing your stamina regeneration speed by around 8% when equipped. This can be great for any build that uses a lot of stamina, and the bonus is even still applied while the shield is on your back, as you two-hand another weapon, so don't ignore the potential boost that this can give you. Wielding it in one hand requires 14 strength, and to find your own, head to the Castle Morn Rampart Site of Grace on the Weeping Peninsula and use the Spirit Spring right next to it to jump up the cliff. Go to the tower directly south of you and climb in to find it sitting on a corpse waiting to be picked up. Ninth today is the Dragon King's Cragblade. This awesome heavy thrusting sword isn't particularly rare to see in the community, it's just a fun weapon. It is a beautiful weapon, and its weapon skill absolutely kicks ass. But did you know that it actually has a little hidden trick up its sleeve as well?
It's a Dragon Slayer!
That's right, it actually has a special passive that just makes it do more damage to any dragon enemies in the game. Specifically around 30% extra to normal dragons, and still 15% to ancient dragons, which sort of makes sense being the weapon of the Dragon Lord himself. On top of this, it also has a semi-unique heavy attack shared with one other weapon, making it quite special as a whole. To wield it, you need 18 strength and 37 dexterity, and to get it for yourself, you need to trade in the Dragon Lord Remembrance at the Round Table Hold. 10th up is going to be the Treespear Greatspear, which is one of the earliest special weapons that you can find in the game, being just at the very beginning of Liurnia. This thing is very pretty to look at, has an Ash of War on it that gives it bonus holy damage while it's active, and a special little secret of a unique heavy attack too, when charged doing 2 quick thrusts instead of just 1 like most other great spears. While the damage of the 2 thrusts evens out similarly to the damage of a single thrust with the other weapons, you can use this for things like status application through buffing the weapon to double the status application speed in comparison to other weapons in its class. To wield it, you need 15 strength, 22 dexterity, and 18 faith, and to find it, simply head to the carriage located here in the southeasternmost point of Liurnia and take it out of the chest in the back. Finally today we have the Mantis Blade. Blade. This one is a bit more known among the community in general, but I felt it important to share for anyone who doesn't, as while the effectiveness of its unique moveset may not be crazy, it is one of the coolest looking unique things on the list, as its unique heavy attack actually unfolds the blade itself to make it double the length that it normally is when you do the attack. Its regular shape is short, even for a curved sword, but when doing the heavy attack it becomes the longest of the curved swords, giving it a very unique space to work within among the weapons. To wield it you need 10 strength and 12 dexterity, and to get this one for yourself you need to go to the Gelmir Hero's Grave dungeon at the top of Mount Gelmir and progress through until you reach the little room with the fire trap. After this, turn left, and when you reach the corner with the left turn, instead head into the little archway on the right to find a Cemetery Shade enemy. Defeat them and this weapon will drop for you. And that just about covers it. 11 weapons with special or unique properties, be they moveset or passives, things you may already have and not have known about, or things a bit rarer that may be worth going out and searching for. I hope you've seen something here that excites you for one reason or another. Like if you like the video, subscribe to the notification bell for more, and most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, stay sweet.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world our stage. Goodbye.